Okay, I'm back after a short break. So, because this is going to be part two, and it's going to be such a tiresome series. So, in summary, we started at 2,814 fonts installed, and that was taking up roughly 980 megabytes of space, and that was causing Photoshop to slow down. So the obvious solution, of course, is deleting fonts. So I'm going about deleting fonts. That's a summary, but I will read the spiel again. There comes a point in every would-be graphic designer's life when they realize enough is enough. They have gone too far, indulged too much. Something must be done. An intervention is necessary. Sacrifices must be made to shed the excess of our indulgence. Harsh and cruel sacrifices must be made on the altar of less is more. Okay, but seriously, I have too many fonts. I currently sit, well, I did anyways, with 2,814 fonts installed. This is causing me problems. First problem is the greatest. It is lagging Photoshop a little, and that is unacceptable. The second problem is that there are too many choices to pick from, and when deciding on a font for a design or resume, this means that choosing a font from so many just takes too much time. As much as less is more is a graphic design meme, I need to drop most of my fonts. Ideally, I'll be able to prune my collection of fonts that I have gotten over the years down to just 200. And just the best ones, with a few specialty ones remaining. I will use the nexusfont manager, which is a free font manager, and with that I will install, hopefully, 2,614 fonts. It takes like 30 minutes just to scroll through all the fonts, or at least at the beginning it did. So this will take several hours and will likely take multiple sessions to get what I want. It will also probably break my heart, as many of the fonts I'll be removing are actually quite good. For context, the last stream video was 1 hour and 30 minutes long, and I got 168 fonts deleted, stopping somewhere around where it said Christmas as the name of the font. So I got through A and B, which might be disproportionately have a larger number of fonts to them, but let's just say I'm gonna have to go through this multiple times, and it'll probably take 24 hours at the current rate to decide what I want to keep. Okay, so these are the D fonts. I want to be in the C fonts. I want to be CH. And now it's the font manager is lagging. I'm certain that I want to be down to 200 fonts, or at least down to 200 megabytes worth of fonts. 200 megabytes worth of fonts might be a better goal. So we're having our first problem in that the font manager is lagging. My computer should actually have more than enough power to handle this, but maybe not at the same time that I am streaming. Okay. So, there were some fonts last time that I tried to delete, and apparently it failed to delete them. So I was right to restart the computer. So where were the fonts? Well, I'm gonna have to go through this again anyway, so get rid of the outline fonts. I'm pretty certain I set these to be deleted. Unfortunately, they came back from the grave because the program was just having trouble after deleting 168 fonts while streaming for an hour. So some of these I might not have chosen to delete before, but now will. I think that with this one, the brackets are probably, and the star are probably the reason why I'm choosing now to delete it. Okay, I do like the Charlemagne one. And I'm probably gonna try and get rid of all the other ones here. So I'm probably going to, whenever I have more than 10 fonts selected for deletion, are some of these default fonts? Is that why I can't get rid of them? That's unusual. Do I have to go to the registry to get rid of some of these? That's gonna be a huge hassle. If it comes down to that. Okay, I don't like that 0. And these are some of the ones I probably tried to delete before. Ay, ay, ay. Definitely no. Why? Ay, ay, ay. Why won't you die? Okay, let's see if I can get rid of this one with this option. No, I can't. Okay, that is annoying. My font manager. Okay. Don't. I don't remember the exact path I need to take. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe system? I don't know. I wish I could remember which was the pathway to uninstall fonts forcefully. Okay, well, we're just gonna keep trying to delete the fonts that I can delete easily enough. Oh, the font might not exist. Okay. Let's. So it's telling me those fonts don't exist, but it hasn't cleared them out. Okay. So some of these are showing up, but they've actually been deleted, which is now causing me a great deal of confusion. Definitely want to make sure that's gone. Oh, that might be part of why this thing was bugging out for me. Okay. And now it's lagging again. Hey, hey, hey. So I don't know why it hasn't cleared its memory. Oh, we'll keep going then. Yes, I think where I stopped was this Christmas monogram. So, let's see. Like a lot of these fonts that have Christmas or Christ in the name, I find unnecessary. Simply because of that. Not because I hate Christmas, but because I hate fonts named Christmas. And I think that there should be some sort of spiritual component to your idea if you're going to name a font like that. Oh, this is definitely an interesting T shape. But I think the N spoils the design for me. I think I have better brushstroke fonts than this. This is a great novelty font, I think. I might have better sort of variations of this idea. Lagging again. I think I'm actually going to get rid of that circuita, because I have a feeling that I just had a lag spike as soon as I got to that font. And I should not be lagging here. It's sort of ridiculous that I am. Oh, and even though the bar design I have on the overlay covers it up, just these fonts alone are 4 megabytes, 17 fonts. It only got rid of 5 of them. What? Okay, I'm going to get rid of this one because there's some inconsistency in it. I'm going to go back up and I'm going to get rid of this one. This one says it's 0.29 megabytes. Huh. It's going to be a bit annoying if I need a different font manager that doesn't have errors. And I have to come back and do this stuff again. The problem with a Helvetica-like font is Helvetica does it better, or Arial does it better. I already have Arial. Okay. Why? Why was only one font uninstalled? This is sort of frustrating me and sort of ruining the stream. Oh, and I guess I should put some music on. Oh, dearie me. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm just not gonna have a font named Clowny. Oh, this is actually a pretty decent weight lift for a very thin font. Okay, so let's see this clip art. Oh, install. Where was I? Was I here? No, I definitely wasn't. Okay, where was I? Okay, I was here. I didn't want to get rid of this one. Why? This one seems to have a style like people put on those signs outside coffee shops. So it might actually be useful. This seems to be like a Futura clone. But I don't like the S and D. Yes. Yes, I knew we'd come to this eventually. Comic Sans. It would be sacrilege if I did not say it was a terrible font. It would. It really would. It is a terrible font. But unfortunately, I have to keep it. Because so many people use it. It would probably cause me trouble if I got rid of it. And also, I need to go to the registry to remove it. Actually, I like this sort of comic font that is right after it in my collection. Both of these are actually pretty nice. I'm gonna definitely don't like these outline versions. Let's see. Okay. Let's see, I don't know. This one's a fairly nice font that's kind of stamped yet. Especially with the bold version. I'm not going to delete it just yet. I think other fonts do what Convenience is trying to do better. I've definitely used this gimmick font before, Cookie's Mom. So I will probably keep that one. Cooper is a default font. Okay, 11 fonts gone. Okay, this is where I was. Yeah. What is with this R? It goes down so far. That's weird. Let's... I think the serif version actually does a lot better than the sans serif version here. Now that is a very clean written script. A bit of stylization. This is a great typeface for actual typewriters. Fourier is the default font. So it's probably going to stay. I could get rid of it, but it's used often enough that it'd probably be annoying. And any sort of typeface font that is not perfect or might deliberately textured, I can just mimic that on a different font altogether with Photoshop. Let's see. This one, I think some of the orientation of the letters is a little off. Like this H, it sort of goes to the right, and this R goes to the left. This one might actually be quite nice. Let's go ahead and install these. Only remove 3 of them. Why? Okay. I don't find this to be done that well for a horror effect. Halloween monograms. Probably too much. Why did you not uninstall this one? Okay, there's no file, you say. Okay, this might be the best digital clock sort of font that I have so far. Okay, this is a nice kitsch font. I'm going to get rid of, well, maybe, yeah, I'll get rid of the monogram version of it. Well, maybe not, I don't know. I'm going to get rid of the Christmas one. Yep. Only 2. Does that mean the other 2 weren't there? I don't know. I might come back to this Dad's Life, but I'm skipping it for now. Nothing particularly wrong with this font, other than how much smaller than it is than a normal font, which might cause some issues. This one I'm getting rid of just because it's just so large, at the same size. Fonts that are so large at the same size are somewhat annoying to work with design-wise. Like, you do know that people can scale up their fonts to the huge size that you like. Okay, this one is actually a fairly nice one for a cursive one. Though it doesn't connect the G and R, so that's going to be my main point against it. Especially with like the G dancing script. Is this one supposed to be edgy? Dark Rise? It doesn't really feel edgy. Just feels square. Rectangle, even. This is sort of long and small. This is just overall a fairly good font. I think it's one that I have many things similar to. It doesn't really feel like it stands out. Yeah, this is a bit of a better of a horror font, I think. This G is sort of weird. It is nice that it actually connects, but the G is also sort of messed up. And this S is sort of a truncated part of it. Some of these fonts are actually quite nice, but I already have far too many. So if I see anything that just makes me not like some part of it, just one letter, one character, it is worth it for me to get rid of them. This is an interesting font because it combines the capital G and the lowercase g into a sort of similar look. But then again, this G looks like a J. So that is a bit more visually confusing than it has any right to be. And it would do better if it had the little part of the G that goes like that. Demon Hunter? Did someone have a spelling error in their own font? Or was their name that? I don't know. This is actually a fairly interesting font, but I dislike this E and this at sign. The R does not properly connect with the capital, as well as other capitals seemingly don't connect and some do. Okay. This font, it sort of reminds me of, like, I don't know if it's even close to what I'm thinking, like Battlestar Galactica. So I might check to see if it's sort of like that after this. Probably I won't. But that's sort of an interesting as like a sci-fi font. And I don't really have too many fonts that I consider like sci-fi fonts. Okay. Nothing particularly wrong with these fonts, actually they're fairly solid. It's just that I have better alternatives, I think. I also realized at this point that I do have a few square fonts like this, and I've already seen at least one better that I did not delete. At least I think I did. And at the end of the day, if I deleted all the square fonts like this, I would still be okay. This font sort of, for some reason, reminds me of the SpongeBob font. Also random, that sort of font. This is a Star Wars clone, isn't it? Okay, this one is a Pitch Heart font, and I might have a use for that. But I don't really have any use for its more dark version. It doesn't want to uninstall that one. I don't know why. No, that's no good. Okay, this one is a little too spread out. No, just no, no domino, no. And this one isn't too bad at all. And the G is a bit better at displaying a G. I had this one at least twice. I'm also looking for fonts to just generally be in the same size range as the normal fonts, and these ultra small cursive script ones are not bad. Okay, I have a better digital font style one. Did these get unselected or something? That's so weird. I'm probably gonna have to, after I finish this session, I'm gonna look for a different font manager that doesn't have these problems. This one, the spaces between the R and the E are just way too large. The Q on this is... no, I don't like that at all. I'm getting rid of all these ones that are named Droid. Okay, so where... yeah, this is the one. Now this is another sort of horror font, but I don't think it does it well at all. This one, the G is too much like a J again. I'm starting to notice that more and more in a lot of these fonts. This is another one that has tails in the O and Q. I sort of just like that it named itself Easter. There's something going on here between the A and the P, and I don't like it. It's just not that good of a joiner, and for some reason, it seems quite pixelated. And it also removes a part of like the N here and the P here. Okay. Now this is an interesting one. That one, I actually do like. That's more stylish. And the bold version's even better. Now this one would be a lot better if it actually had an and sign. Surprisingly, it has like a percentage sign and the accented E, but it doesn't have an and sign. Okay, well I have 31 fonts selected, so I might as well leave the next one. Now I can go back to where it was. This is actually a pretty nice sort of brush stroke, this Indelia. Then it's Indelia Swash, and not so great. It might actually be designed to go with that, like these swashes would attach to the other script. I don't know. Not so good. And this one, because it has some that are considerably darker looking than the others, and they're also all caps. It sort of reduces the viability of the font. Nothing particularly bad at that one, but I think I do better to do it. And also it has the 7 and the Z. I don't like those. You gotta dash through. Now this is actually a fairly nice square font. Rectangular font. Another one of these that seems like it's really nice, except for the few characters that are just substantially darker. I don't even know if that's an error with this font manager or not. And this is sort of a kitsch font right here with the eye, the point in that replaced by a little heart, but nothing else in there is really that kitsch. Now this one's actually a fairly nice one. Fake nice. Yeah, that one really sort of does it. It's sort of a very simple, normal looking script that looks like handwriting. This Fanwood Italic is actually fairly nice. Well, I won't immediately delete that one. Well, I'm deciding a lot quicker for a lot of these ones than I was in the first set. Okay, this is a sort of interesting font. That's definitely a gimmick font. It does it actually fairly well. Okay. Calling this one Father's Day is sort of iffy. And this is a sort of stylistic italic. I think because it has that 7, I don't like it though. And this 3 right here is supposed to be a Z. So that one sort of puts it out of the running. Okay, I have 55 fonts selected. The Fed Riella Monogram is what I'm going to come back to. So let's see at the 55 how many. It only deleted 33 of them. That's odd. I don't know why it's sparing some fonts my RAM. It is going to cost me more time to come back and whatever fonts it didn't delete. I sort of really like the G on this one, the Filippi. Filippa? Yes. Let's see. This is its and sign though. That and sign, I don't think anyone would be able to recognize that as an and sign. For special characters, all the ones that are on the number keys are particularly important to actually have in a font, but especially the at sign and the and sign. I might come back to the Fear Sands. Some of these seem really solid. This one I dislike because on the B side you have the dimensionality on the right, on the Q you have it on the left. That's sort of a huge inconsistency. Okay, this one has the inconsistency where most of the words have capitals, or black capitals, but not all of them do. So let's see. Yeah, I don't really find these monograms that legible. This is a thin square-like font. this one doesn't even have... I don't know, are those numbers in its style? I don't think so. These two are actually sort of nice. They might be on the chopping block later. This is a kitsch font with hearts for the capitals, but it's also sort of lacking in legibility. Like, I can barely read this over. I think this one is lacking because the S is really truncated on both the lowercase and the capital. The Franklin Gothic, I don't think it's a default one. This might be one of the better ones that are sort of penciled in. I'm probably going to be stopping at 6 Eastern, which is 30 minutes from now. I'm going at a bit of a better pace than the first hour and 30 minutes. Let's see. I've only been at this for 46 minutes, so it's going to be a shorter session. But I'll need to rest my eyes. There's something else I want to stream tonight as well. Streaming some 3D modeling. Okay. That G is... like they went too much into a J there, I think. And then the G over here is really odd. That's awkward. Okay, Fruits Garden is where I'm going to get back to after installing these fonts. Okay, and I'm right already still there. Okay. And that said, I'll probably get rid of Fruits Garden. So let's see. This one's actually... I like this as a sort of bold font. No, I just don't like the B there. Also, I'll lose my voice if I don't get some water. Let's see. I might actually just do that. I shouldn't have Futura in my library, because that is free for personal use, but not free for commercial use. Even though Futura is hailed as one of the best fonts ever, my replacement for it is actually, what is it? Renner, which doesn't have the royalties or copyright problems that Futura does. Now, all of these I've gotten from sites that typically provide fonts that, if you either purchase them or download them, they just give you commercial rights. Now, a lot of them I've gotten from Creative Fabrica, which is probably why my collection of fonts swelled from like 1,500 to nearly 3,000. Well, 2,814. Now I should have already uninstalled Futura, so why it's detecting them I do not know. Now this one looks like just a great overall font, the Graviola. Yeah, a lot of these fonts are just like it's actually painful. Like this Gaduji. It's a pretty good font, but I already have fonts like that. So there's no point in filling up my inventory or my file space with that many fonts. Let's see. Let's see, I think for this Galada regular, it's one that I might like to keep, but I think it's these little things like the O and W and the O and X. I think that's something wrong to connect them that way. And then you have the R, which isn't connected at all. But yeah. This one has little pitch stars on it. That one I think is just, I don't know if it's bugging or whatnot. Let's see. We go ahead and uninstall these, because that's 37. And only uninstalled 14, so a lot of these might not even be installed. Might be detecting all the fonts on my system, and I don't have all the fonts on my system installed. I think I definitely have fonts that have done what Game Comic is trying to do a little bit better than that. Okay, I definitely have better black letter than this. This is just an odd one. This one seems very similar to the Georgia font, I think. Maybe, maybe not. Oh, we can actually compare. No, Georgia... It is somewhat similar, but Georgia is definitely a bit of a more solid font. Well, Georgia is one of my favorite fonts, so similar fonts to that. I just don't really need too much, other than like Times and a few others. I'm sort of tempted to get rid of the Georgia line just because it has the George name in it, and that sort of makes it a bit annoying when that one would come up when I search. But I'm just getting rid of that just because of the freaking ergonomics, and I already have quite a few fonts like that. Many of which I've already decided to discard. I don't think I would need a font like that often. And let's see, it also has the issue where, like on this W, the dimensional bit is on the right, and on the N, the dimensional bit is on the left. If you look at any font long enough, you can find things that you don't like with it. Yeah, no, just no. And let's see, I don't like the S here, truncated. Now, a lot of these, let's see. Githgo. 25 fonts uninstalled. Wonderful. What even is it trying to do? Is that trying to be bones or something? I think it's trying to be bones. And I don't think it's doing a good job of that. Well, it's gonna be 6 o'clock soon enough, so 19 minutes, so I can keep going until then. I definitely don't think I'm gonna get to 2,000, down to 2,000 fonts yet. Let's see. This one has the sides problem as well. They're not all consistently getting shade on one side. Like the R here is not consistent with the B. Yeah. I don't like that the A doesn't close on this one. I don't know. This one's just a little too dark. But it might actually be designed to work with this. Pretty sure it is, but I'm just not going to have room for that two-font approach for doing that sort of thing. Now this is sort of an interesting font, but I think it's going to be too much of a gimmick for what I want. Okay. I just like the 3 because of this very, very small extension here, and it should be just a bit longer. And how the H and T overlap it here as well is not really that great. And this one, it's good that the G connects to the R, but at the same time, the G goes a bit too much into being a J. This one's a fairly solid one. That's sort of an interesting one. I do like this little decorative element on the caps. Now I also think that it's sort of lacking when the caps are not really connecting to the rest of the letters. Okay, 57 fonts uninstalled. Okay. Let's see. I had to go up 57 fonts to get back to where I was. Well, I was on this font, which is a fairly interesting font. Sort of reminds me of the Nightmare Before Christmas. That might actually be a good Halloween font. This one, it's sort of lacking. No deleting fonts forever. This is sort of like a... feels like it never ends. It feels like I'm sort of pushing a boulder up a mountain, only for the boulder to get heavier and heavier as I push it, and eventually it rolls back down, and there's nothing I can do about it. Now this is close to what I'm looking for in sort of a print handwriting font, but the G... wish it had just a bit more, but I might, yeah, I'll probably come back to that one. This sort of reminds me I might come back to this one. It might be something that not too bad to use in places like Comic Sans. All of these fonts named Halloween, I don't think are good enough to use as Halloween fonts. Well, it's certainly something that people are trying to have some sort of effect on the bleeding letters. Oh god, this 7 right here. I particularly dislike that. These two I might come back to. Well, actually, this one, I don't like that on this side. Like, I have so many fonts that if there's one element I don't like any design, like this 7 right here, I don't like that dash through it. I have so many fonts to go through that I will find one that I like that doesn't have that element. But I can just safely get rid of any of them. So this one's sort of weird in that it's trying to do it on the top for most of these if it can. Top and right, but it doesn't do that on that one. Okay, I am going to handle. Yeah, this one is pretty much one of the gimmicks that might be what I want. And it doesn't have anything wrong with the 7 or the Z. It has almost all the special characters except for the symbol right here and the 1-4. Yeah, this one is maybe a keeper. I'm gonna write it down. And again, we have another one of these fonts, but it isn't consistent on which side the dimensionality is added to. I want them either to be all on the right or all on the left, or maybe all on the top, or maybe all on the bottom. So the top and the bottom would be much harder, but having them alternate between left and right, sort of randomly, is not good. And I could quickly add some sort of dimensionality like that to something like that in Photoshop regardless. And have it consistent. So this font, I do like how it does the characters, but it doesn't even have the numbers. I feel like a font like this, I can find a few different varieties of it that have the numbers. Well, similar fonts done by someone else anyways. What is going on with this R right here? This Y is very unusual. And hopefully I'm not covering up things that I'm looking at with my webcam. Maybe I should move the webcam to the right side. Well, I'll do that for the next stream. But I feel like I'd cover up like the Z and stuff just as often. Okay, I feel like I'm lagging again. Yeah, I'm definitely lagging again, so maybe I need to find a different font manager. This Hello Father, oh, actually no, it does have that issue with the G and R that I don't like. Is this one finally one of the ones that's consistent? Yes, it actually looks like it, unless I'm mistaken. And all it is missing is the copyright symbol and the cent sign. So, hello, Iceland. That's probably a keeper. Okay, this one's called Hello Pumpkin, and the only thing it really did is put dots in the circles. And maybe like a stem-looking thing for the O's. Okay, that's a dashed line one. Those are sort of rare, but I don't think it works too well on something so thin. I like some of the characters in this, but it does have some eligibility issues. This is a font that has hearts on it, but I think I've seen some fonts that do that better. You can barely tell the hearts on it too, from this distance anyways. Okay. Does this do that sort of effect well? This one does it a little bit better than others. I don't like the Q on this one for Hey Creative. So many are named Hey and Hello, it's sort of ridiculous. Okay, this one is very odd and it's missing capitals and quite a few other characters. This one actually has consistency on the sides, it looks like, but has a few that are oddly darker than the rest. I find this H and B, and even the T and D, fairly interesting, but it sort of fails to put it cohesively together. And then it has the symbol. I don't like the symbol. And I've seen quite a few fonts like this one. And, well, it really doesn't do anything for me. Some of the swishes and spirals can do quite well, but I think that Other fonts have done it better. The at sign is probably its best, but I think it should have finished the A inside the at sign. Homemade apple. I'm not really getting the feel of that. Really just a rough looking font. Like with this font, I can just put an outline around other text to get something similar. Okay, here's some kitsch fonts with hearts in them. I'll have to compare kitsch fonts eventually. This is definitely a very kitsch font. But it might actually work out for something. That one is something I might not delete. And let's see, is this consistent? All on the right side? Yes. All on the right side. Are there any letters that I don't really like? Sort of don't like the A. Sort of don't like the O, but it's not as much right now. I can see the use of this font. Okay, this one I think does the G pretty well. Okay, here's another horror font. Does it do as good? It's less drippy than the other one. But I will probably compare it later. A font like this one, if it's doing the letters in a sort of, if it's doing the numbers in a very different style than the letters, then it's sort of not what I want as well. Oh, this is sort of a nice font, yeah. Yeah, that one might actually fit with something I want. Okay. Let's see. Impact is one I've definitely used in the past over the years. For like school projects, actually. That's how long I've had it. Yeah, it's sort of nice. I'm almost to the halfway point, I feel. But it's now 6:04, which is a bit longer than I thought I was going to stay. So we can actually just come back to impact. Let's see. We'll start there, and I'm actually going to look up if that font is royalty free or not. If not, I'll get rid of it. I used it for some college projects. I haven't really used it since then, as far as I know. Still a great font, I think. I do especially like this exclamation point where it slightly tapers towards the top. Or rather, it tapers out towards the top. Gives it a really nice feel. Okay. Well then, I think this ends it for today for my deleting of fonts. And I'm going to do a bit more, look for a different font manager that isn't having these problems where it doesn't know what's been installed and what's not. Okay. But I've gone through 498 fonts. Well, I can make it a solid... Okay, I can make it a solid 500 fonts done today in part 1 and part 2 of this. Wonderful. That definitely improves my organization, and it's 100 less megabytes to load. Actually, maybe not too much more than 100. I'll have to look at the first video again. Well, actually, I can't see on the first video. I'd have to listen to myself. It did say it aloud. But I do like having this little bar at the bottom. Sort of makes it look fancier. Yeah. Okay. Well, I will be going to take a break, rest my eyes, get some water, and then next stream will be some 3D modeling and probably a Tinkercad. Okay.